Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. What's up, ADT Nation, Alpha family? How we all doing today? Good morning, everybody on YouTube. Good morning as well. Yes, I already know stir one speaker. All right, so you guys are all set. So what do I think about TBLT? I don't like it because we're trading below the 50 SMA and the 20 EMA on the daily. So I'm not a fan of it. It's absolutely dead. And I don't see any reason as to why it's going to bounce back up anytime soon. Like I said, it's below the 50 and the 20. And if we keep dropping, that 20 is going to cross back below the 50, and we can continue that downtrend. So I don't like TBLT at this point in time. Not a fan of it. Definitely think there's some better opportunity in the market, guys, besides TBLT. So, I mean, it just looks like it's going to keep fading on down. Maybe down towards around like 309. Got some lower gap fills on here, down towards around 309. You got a lower gap fill around 238. You have no indication of a reversal or a bounce. So I don't really see anything too much with TBLT. There's got to be news or a catalyst that brings attention back into it. So if you want the stock to move and rip, there's got to be some kind of catalyst to get this thing going. So right now we just don't have a catalyst, and if we don't have a catalyst, we have some lower levels that need to be hit first, 309 and then 238. Yeah, we got some nice IPOs scheduled for today, guys. Yes, indeed. So IPOs scheduled for today. You got BIAF, PXMD, and then MOB are going to be some IPOs scheduled for today. Yep, so again, I'm going live around that 8:15, 8:20 on TikTok, YouTube, here inside of chat to answer your guys' questions. 9 o'clock, we drop the streams on YouTube and TikTok, and I get you guys prepared for today. If you have any questions that directly pertain to a top stock, we're going to cover those between 9 and 9:30 and get you guys all set. Question, Alan, what's up? New trader here. So if I watch the stock on a 3-minute chart and I trade, let's say, a breakout of a trend line, do you wait for the candle to close on the break to get in to avoid any fake outs, or just get in? Me personally, Alan, I will anticipate a trade before a breakout, but I look at multiple things, right? If I have, a sense of it dropping before it actually cracks that level, for example, by looking at the time and sales, right? Reading the tape, price action, what I see on the level 2, candlestick formations, momentum indicator, volume, and I can get a gauge ahead of time using 2 to 3 different types of indicators or forms of TA, and I really feel convicted and confident it's going to crack that trend line. I'll work a position ahead of time. I'll start to look to get in, but that's called anticipating a trade, and you have to be willing to take the risk of anticipating the trade. It may not ever confirm in the first place, and you may take an unnecessary loss. I call those paper cuts. I'm more than happy to take paper cuts in the market, because when I see 3, 4, 5 things line up ahead of time that suggest the move's going to happen in my favor, I want the best of the best entry way before the crack, because there's so many opportunities out there that you wait for the confirmation, you wait for the crack, you wait for the break, but sometimes the break is too strong and you miss it. Sometimes the crack, it dumps on off right away. You miss it. So I'm willing to take paper cuts to anticipate trades so I don't miss moves. As a brand new trader that does not yet understand price action, that's having a hard time utilizing these indicators in conjunction with one another, if you can't read the tape to get that conviction and confidence ahead of time, you need to wait for confirmation. Confirmation is going to be your friend. It's going to keep you out of trades you shouldn't be in, and it's going to put you in the trades that are confirming the setup. And it's going to, again, keep you on the winning side a little bit more until you have that confidence, conviction to be able to read the tape, get a sense of price action, utilize these indicators in conjunction with one another to have that confidence to, say, anticipate a trade. So it really depends on what works best for you and your style of trading and your confidence level at this point in time. It's weird seeing Tesla at 300. Yep, their split went through, so yep. What's up, everybody over on YouTube this morning? How's it going? Joey, good morning. If I miss the stock between 9 and 9:30 chat, will you double tap on it when I reconnect? Frederick, what do you mean when you reconnect? If you're inside the chat, if you are a member, between 9 and 9:30, we are getting you guys prepared for the trading session like we always do. KPRX, already talk about it? No. And here's the thing with KPRX, is you're sitting at right around a very strong level of resistance, and that's one of the reasons I don't like it, is you're at that gap fill level right around 24 cents, right? So you closed at 24 cents, you gapped down the 16 cents, and now we're breaking 20 cents, that high, and we're closing the gap at 24. So even if we squeeze over 24, where can the thing go? The 50 SMA at 26 cents. It just doesn't seem like tons of great opportunity to me. From a percentage standpoint, it's good, right? You can grab about 10% out of it. But for me, getting 2 pennies out of it just doesn't really make a lot of sense. So we'd really have to see this thing breaking 24 and 26 cents for me to want to get involved. Why 24 and 26 cents? Well, that's going to be breaking the gap down low. That would be pushing above the 50 SMA. Then when you look at that daily chart, look at how much room it has to the upside, right? So if you can be patient, wait for the stock to break and hold above that 50 SMA, and then you look to get involved, now you have 29% to the upside versus 10%. So I like that risk reward a little bit better. That would really allow the stock to break, allow it to prove itself, not be the guinea pig and get caught up in something that's going to fade all day. And it would look much better over that 24, 26 cent level to get long up to 34 cents on KPRX. All right, so guys, we got 1 minute. 1 minute until we get very important economic data. Now, what is today, guys? This is our second revision for Q2 GDP in 3, 2, 1. All right, so this is going to be GDP growth rate, quarter over quarter, second estimate. Our forecast was 0.9%. Right, so that's what's being forecasted right now is 0.9% for our second revision. And that data is released at 8:30. Let's see how the data comes in. Initial jobless claims, 243 versus 267. Previously, it was 245, and that was revised from 250. We just got our initial jobless claims. And here we go. Actually, so we have negative 0.6%. Right, so that is our second revised number for GDP Q2, right? So our first estimate we got last month was negative 0.9. We just got our revised number at negative 0.6 for our second revision of Q2 GDP. And I really wanted to short the SPY off that trend line. I posted that up for you guys inside of chat and options that if the SPY cracks the trend line, I want to short that back down to 415.16 and then a crack of 415.16 down to 412.31. I was going to play an inverse ETF on that. But right now it's okay. If we can start cracking below 415.16 today at some point in time, I do believe we can fall back down to 412.31, guys. So KPRX will be on watch today to see if we can break over those levels. FIGS, if we ever squeeze up to 1364, I would be willing to short that off resistance. DRUG was a nice little pre-market trade off that 217, back up toward around 230. We did hit that pre-market high of 240 here. We are starting to crack below that trend line at this point in time, so we still have 217 support on DRUG. But what do we know about DRUG? It likes to move a little bit, and it likes to give a lot back. It likes to move a little bit, gives a lot back, and that's exactly what we had happen yesterday for the fourth time out of the last 5 days. It squeezed above the 200 SMA, popped up towards around 260, and then what? It gave everything back and closed back below the 200 SMA. Every time we spike, we have a lower spike, right? So look at that big spike to 470, and then it was a lower spike to 350. Then a lower spike to 260. So if we open on up today and we spike, it probably won't be back up to 260. You may see a lower spike or a less of a spike, and then you'll probably see it dump and fade on off, as that's what the stock's been doing the last 4 of 5 days. on DRUG, but today could be the exception. We could break 260 and take on off, and if that happens, we want to keep DRUG on high watch. But again, like yesterday, we had the possibility that the stock would rip and run, but we looked at the daily chart and said, probably not going to happen, right? We'll probably get some action out of the gate for some early on trades. Take your profits quick. It'll probably give everything back, and it did just that. It gave just about everything back yesterday. So be mindful about that on DRUG. We're going to be watching AVYA for the daily gap fill. So if we can break over 136, we have room to 180 for that daily gap fill. NERV is going to be on watch as well today over 667. I really do like NERV at this point in time. As long as we hold above 667, that's going to put you right around, what was that? Tuesday post-market high, yesterday's high a day. It was our break and retest level. Puts you right around this trend line, and it may put you somewhere around that 50% fib or that 61.8 fib. But really, I'm looking at those prior spiking highs and the uptrend right around 667 here on NERV. So as long as we hold that level, we have great potential today, guys. It is a slower day, right? It is a little bit of a slower day here this morning with small caps. So at this point in time, we don't really have too much. The best thing to do is sit back out of the gate and wait for the best opportunity, or find a stock that you really like out of these top 5 and just focus on it. So right now, KPRX has potential, FIGS has potential, DRUG, AVYA, and NERV. So out of these 5 stocks right now, pick one of these 5 stocks that you really like and focus on it and get to know it and get prepared and do your due diligence before the market opens. But right now at this point in time, there's not too much action in the market today, guys. But we'll see. Maybe we get some 9 o'clock press releases, maybe 9:30. Maybe we get a prior day mover that starts ripping on up. We shall see. Trade you only crypto Forex? I do not trade crypto. I invest in crypto. I don't trade Forex. What are some good stocks for options you're watching? The SPY the Qs, Amazon, NVIDIA. All right, so the SPY the Qs, Amazon, NVIDIA. If NVIDIA cracks this uptrend here, we could short it back down to 163, assuming the overall market has a down day. Now, if the overall market's having a pretty strong day, NVIDIA could actually still hold this trend line and push back up to 169. So we're watching NVIDIA in conjunction with the broader market, see what the overall market does, whether it's a nice green day or a red day, and that's going to dictate how we play NVIDIA today around this trend line, whether we take it long back up to that 169, or if we take it short back down to 163. So we're watching NVIDIA for either calls or puts. Really depends on what the SPY and the Qs do today. I still have Amazon on watch. It may not do anything today, but Amazon still has great potential to fill that lower gap, assuming the overall market showed signs of weakness and we continue to drop and fade and fall, which, again, tomorrow is really where the markets could move. You got the Fed speaking at 10 a.m. So we'll have to see what the markets do and how that impacts Amazon, and see if Amazon ever gives us that opportunity to short this below that 132.38 level down to that 126. So I still have Amazon on watch. I'm going to be watching the SPY here today off this 415 level. If we ever crack 415, I want to short it down to 412. If we hold above 415, I want to take it long back up to 417.85. And then the Qs, we're watching the Qs right off yesterday's highs of 316.79 and this trend line as well. So if we ever fall below 316.79 and crack the trend line, we could short the Qs back down to 315.61. But if we hold the trend line and we hold that 316.79 area, we're going to probably take it long back up into the high 318s here on the Qs. How we feeling about NEPT? So I looked at some of our prior day movers, and NEPT was one of those that I was looking at. But the fact that NEPT is back below 3, I'm not a fan of it, and it's just fading and falling. So I would say, if NEPT can ever break back above 3 and trade above 3 like yesterday, we have great potential to spike again. But we really need to be trading above $3. Ideally, getting a nice solid break above 350 and then that 375 from yesterday, and we could see 430. 430 is a very good realistic target on NEPT, but I do think that we need to be back above $3 first, at least to get that potential up to 350, then 374. And then our main target on NDPT would be back up towards around 430, but we definitely need to be above 3 first. Give me 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. All right, give me about 2-3 minutes, and I'll be right back with you. If you have any questions, go ahead and type those up. And I'll be right back to get those answered for you guys. Got to plug in this this light so you guys don't get that little blurriness at the bottom right-hand corner. So, yep, 1 sec. I'll be right back with you guys. Alrighty, we're back, guys. I don't know why that's still a little blurry down there. It's just bugging me a little bit. Like right there. It's a little fuzzy. It's a little blurry. That's not helping, is it? Okay, it's fine. It'll be all right. We'll be good for today. What happened to Tesla? A 3-to-1 stock split. A 3-to-1 stock split is what happened with Tesla. Anything happen at Jackson Hole to pump up the market? So the Fed's going to be speaking tomorrow at 10 a.m., guys. So that could definitely move the market for sure. That could absolutely move the market tomorrow. Martin, good morning. Josh, I see that you already green on the day. Would you kindly break down the trade on DRUG, please? Yeah, absolutely. I'd be more than happy, guys. So DRUG was a stock that we're watching over the last few days, right? It's been a stock that's been ripping and running. We know it gives a lot back. So after I see the stock starting to move again here in pre-market, I have a 217 level drawn up from the past few days. And where did I get and identify that 217 level? Well, if you look at DRUG on the daily chart, you can see that we had a close at 217. The next day, spiking high, 217. The next day, we closed right at 217. So I can see 3 very valid points that we've got rejected at 217 and we've closed below. And closed right at, 217. So I can see 1, 2, 3 different points right at 217. And another thing that I noticed was yesterday that 217 was respected. We broke 217, retested, we ripped up to 260. We cracked below 217, retested as resistance. So I can see that traders are really respecting that 217 level. So I look at 217 as a pretty key level here on DRUG. So when I see the stock moving on up here in pre-market, I see it break above 217. I'm looking for a pullback, for a retest of 217 to get long to that prior high, right? I see the break over 217. I see the spike up to 239. What I want to see is a pullback and the stock hold 217 and bounce back up or as close to that prior high as possible. So I'm just kind of sitting back, relaxed. I'm waiting. I see it come down. It closes above 217. Now it's below 217. I'm not watching it. Well, I'm watching it, but I'm not in it. I'm not in it. I'm just waiting to see what it does around 217. And I see the stock get right back above 217. So I see it break over 217. I see it fail 217 and then immediately push right back above. So now I'm looking for the stock to pull back one more time, give us a higher low off 217. And if I see that pullback and that higher low and the stock holds 217, I'm going to go long for that higher low push back up to high a day. So at this point in time, I'm simply waiting for the stock to push up, see where it goes, hold back to 217, and then hold that level and bounce for that higher low push. And right now I'm just kind of building that plan in my head as far as what I would want to see to take that trade, right? So I'm kind of predicting what I would want to see to feel confident to take that trade. And if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. But if I see what I want to see, I know exactly what to expect and how to trade it. So I'm just kind of waiting. I'm sitting back. The stock's moving on up. It starts to pull back. So I'm still building that plan in my head. I want to see it hold above 217 to get long. So we come down. We're kind of right at 217. I took the trade right around 218. The stock pushed off our higher low, 217 support, and it did get back up for that high day retest. So it all started with the daily chart, marking up that very, very key level of resistance, identifying that it was validated several times yesterday, waiting for it to break above, which it did. It dropped below it, not taking the trade. We pushed right back above, so this would be a higher low retest of 217 support, and we could see that higher low push off 217 and see buyers still here and push the stock back up. So I was willing to take that 217 entry off that higher low for the push back on up. And at that point in time, we had a nice little downtrend ran on the stock as well. So not only was it a higher low push off that 217 level after we regained it as support, it was also a break of this downtrend for the retest of high a day. So we get our higher low push, break of the downtrend off 217, nice break. Nice little 20-cent push back up to 240. So that's a very, very, ABC formations, they typically play out the best ones, 30-minute durations, hour-long durations, right? So when you see an ABC pattern, you usually see that rip up 30 minutes, an hour at the start of the day. Then they start to kind of fade and fall into lunch. They bounce. And then towards the end of the day, you get that ABCD pattern. Those bigger picture all-day formations are some of the best ABCD formations. So what I see is a simple break above 217. It lost it. It regained it. And then it pulled back and held a support. So I see a higher low, and that's a momentum play. So I see the loss of a key level of support, immediately regains it, pulls back, gives us a higher low at 217 with a break of the downtrend. That's what I see, is a break of the downtrend off the higher low at a key level of support. You could look at it as an ABCD, but like I said, the A+, the best ABCD formations are the ones that play out over, a few hours, over the course of a day. Those bigger picture setups versus those really micro time frame setups, right? So you could see A, B, C, D, absolutely. But like I said, you want to look at those bigger picture. Those are the better A+ setups for those ABCD formations. But you have the right the right idea, 100%. You definitely have the right idea. Again, KPRX has a lot of resistance up there at that right around that 24-cent level. I do want to short FIGS today off 1364 if we spike on up to it. DRUG, got to keep in mind, it gives a lot back, so we could see a quick spike out of the gates. But if it's another lower high today, you'll probably see it up to like 240, 250, and then it give a lot back. If you ever break 260, this thing is really in play over 260. AVYA for the daily gap fill, over 136 to 180. NERV, as long as we hold above that 667 level, hold above that trend line, and then proceed to break our downtrend from yesterday. I'm all over this stock. I'll definitely go long on it. Again, NVIDIA, we discussed this. We're really going to dictate a trade based on the overall markets. If we're dropping on down, I want to see NVIDIA crack the trend line and drop with the market. We'll play puts. If we see the markets holding on up, that means NVIDIA can hold this trend line and squeeze back up to 169. So I like NVIDIA a lot here for options today. Definitely liking the SPY and the Qs. We have, both of these stocks sitting at some pretty key levels, and we can see some nice movement today with the SPY and the Qs. I need to join the money team. Come on over. We'd love to have you. Love to work with you and get you inside a profits chat. So that link's in my bio if you want to join. Again, it's well worth it. We have so many members that come in and they make their investment back, right? Their investment to purchase a monthly membership, quarterly, yearly, whatever the case is. We have a lot of traders in chat that are making that investment back in as little as a week, couple weeks, a month. It's just absolutely amazing to see that. Do we have any news on KPRX? So KPRX has a price target being raised to 650. So you got coverage being initiated with a 650 price target on KPRX. So again, it's a little bit on the slower side today, guys. As we can see, we don't really have that one stock that's just ripping and running. There's good potential, but it's not like we have one stock that's up just fantastically, that's stealing the volume and stealing the attention in the market. So we have to be very patient today. Really just kind of sit back on those hands and wait for the best opportunities to come to you. And maybe these 4 stocks that we just discussed, maybe they don't do anything today, guys. Maybe they just kind of dump on off and we get a newer IPO stock that rips around 11 or 12 o'clock. We have about 3 new IPO scheduled for today. Maybe it's a prior day mover that starts moving on up. We'll have to just kind of sit back and wait to see where traders go, assuming KPRX doesn't do anything, assuming DRUG doesn't do anything, and assuming AVYA doesn't get that 136 break for that daily gap fill. Moho. I love that ticker. Moho. Yeah, so I don't like the volume in pre-market. I don't like the daily chart. We're below 2, 3 very key levels of resistance. I don't see potential with Moho today. I was going to crack a joke, but we got to keep it family friendly around here, guys, okay? So when you say a 650 price target, does that mean analysts think that's where it will go? If so, does that mean long term or short term? That's where an analyst, right? An analyst, maybe at a hedge fund or a firm, that's what an analyst thinks it'll go. But how credible is the analyst, right? If you see an analyst on Jamie Dimon's team with JP Morgan, then okay, there's some credibility. HC Wainwright, there's some credibility there, right? But when you look at KPRX, it's Ladenburg Thalmann. Ladenburg Thalmann. So go do some research on the Ladenburg Thalmann and see how credible that analyst is, right? When I see like HC Wainwright initiating coverage in a price target, the stock rips. When we see anybody on Jamie's team with JP Morgan initiating coverage on a stock and, putting a price target out there, say $6 when the stock's at 20 cents, that stock could rip. They are very credible analysts. I personally haven't really seen Ladenburg Thalmann that often. And when we do, we don't really see that much reaction out of a stock. So you got to really look at the credibility and how credible and how consistent are they and what's their track record for, initiating coverage and shooting stupid high price targets. I mean, $6.50 price target on a $20 stock. So let's go do some research on this Ladenburg Thalmann. Initiating coverage on KPRX, and if he's got a good track record of success, and he's a credible, if that's a fund or a person, whatever it is, then that could give you more insight to see if there could still be some potential to the upside. Yeah, absolutely, 100%. NERV, yeah. So when I'm looking at NERV, there's a couple things that I want to look at. Is we got the spiking high from Tuesday in post market, 667. We got yesterday's spiking high 667, we got our breakout level at 667. That's where a lot of volume moved in. And then we had our retest at 667. So 667 is a very important level for any RV. If you want any RV to move higher today, you need to hold above 667, right? That's also your trend line as well, right around that 650 to 667 level. So if you crack below that very key level of support and you fall below the trend line, you're bearish. You'll probably see this thing dump on off to 6, back down towards around yesterday's low of day. But if we can hold that trend line, we're still on the bullish side. If we can stay above that key level of support, that looks fantastic. We could see traders move back in, eventually get a break of this downtrend from yesterday, and we could start to squeeze again back up to 850. So it really depends on what any RV does down towards around that trend line and that 667. But I do like any RV today, and I think there could be some fantastic potential with any RV today, guys. Eagle, what's up, buddy? What's up, man? Good morning. Good morning. BIMI. Yeah, I'll take a look at BIMI. So at first glance, Tuesday had a nice spike up towards around 79 cents. That's your 200 SMA. It had a very strong rejection. It tried to bounce off the 50 SMA yesterday, but is a very weak bounce, light volume. So that's really what we have is you have light support at 56 cents. You have very strong resistance at 79 cents. Do I see any indication as to why this stock would rip today? No, especially after seeing this thing just dump on off and give everything back on Tuesday and a very weak bounce yesterday. I don't really see an indication as to why the stock would move on up. If anything, it would just kind of sit sideways, remain flat, really taper on off with the volume. If you ever see it cracking below that 50 SMA, you could see it back down around 50 cents on BIMI. You should do a video about all your tattoos. yeah. Here's what this tattoo means. That's what this tattoo means. They all mean something. So they all have a meaning towards them. Wicked, what's up, Johnny? Good morning, Angela. What's up, Angela? Good morning. What do I think about KAVL? Let's take a look at KAVL. This is a new stock that's starting to pop on up on the leaderboard here. KAVL probably just dropped a press release right around 8:30. Yep. So they win their case against the FDA. So they win their case against the FDA and they anticipate revenue growth. Yesterday we had a decent little day, right? Look at that daily chart. Not a bad little day with a nice little close right at the 50 SMA and the 200 SMA. So yesterday's high a day is actually at that 50 SMA. So that's going to be your support level here on KAVL, right at that 135 mark. But let's go ahead and mark up all of our other levels and see if there's a better area of support at this point in time. I actually see a very, very important level here, guys. That's going to be 156. Why 156? Look at that daily bounce. Very strong daily bounce at 156. Right here. High a day before a massive dump. 156. High a day before a massive dump. 156. Look at all that support and resistance here back in June. And 156, and then our open, right? We gapped up, we opened at 156, and we just dumped. So 156 is a very important level on KAVL. It's a key level. It's a great level of support. You can hold above 156. That shows a lot of strength. That shows a lot of potential. Now, if you do crack below 156, I would think you come back down to 135. That's going to be the 50 SMA, the 200 SMA, and yesterday's high a day there on KAVL. So we know where our best levels of support are. Where's our best level of resistance? Well, intraday, it's going to be that pre-market high of 190. All right. 190 also lines up with some daily levels as well. You got that spiking high, you got that low a day, so you see some support resistance right around 190, and it's our pre-market high. Obviously, you have $2 psychological resistance, right? It's a whole number. $2 is going to probably hold the stock down as a little bit of resistance. But if we can break that level, we could probably see this stock up towards around 234 there on KAVL. So again, winning their case against the FDA, they're anticipating some revenue growth. We are above that 156, and 156 is a very key level of support resistance on that daily chart multiple times. Definitely want to keep that on watch above 156. Assuming we hold above 156, we could definitely pop back up to 190, $2, and then 234 here on KAVL. And we'll discuss this a little bit more here, guys. We're going to go ahead and drop the stream over on TikTok and on YouTube. Thank you guys for showing up. I appreciate you guys' support. Great questions this morning. Great stuff. I appreciate it. Enjoy your trading session. All right. Trade smart. Trade safe. Have an amazing Money Thursday. Make it happen in the market. I'll see you guys back here on YouTube tomorrow. Over on TikTok tomorrow as well, 8:15. If you guys are not inside of chats, you are absolutely missing out. All right, guys? If you like the 1 day a week streams, let's go. We had some great profits yesterday. If you want to join the team and work with us every single day and get access to everything else members get access to, you know where to find us. alphadaytrading.com. We'd love to have you a part of the team. We'd love to work with you and help you find success in the market and see you in Profits Chat as well, guys. All right? So happy, safe trading. Enjoy your Money Thursday. Over on YouTube, I'll see you back here tomorrow, 8:15. Same thing, TikTok, tomorrow morning, 8:15. We'll have fun. We'll end our week strong. Lock in some profits, guys, and then enjoy our weekend. We only have about 5 days left of August. Let's make it the best 5 days yet in the month, guys. All right, enjoy your day. Members inside of chats, here's the intro. Get hyped up. Get fired up. I'll see you back here in about 2 minutes, guys.